Hi, this is Emma, and I'm a volunteer with the Shasta Historical Society. This video is one in a series that we're doing where volunteers such as myself or John visit different historical sites around Shasta County and tell you a little bit about them. Today's video format is a little bit different because it's unsafe to go and film next to the Afterthought mine because it's right next to a highway and there's a sheer drop into a creek next to it. So I'm going to show you photos and tell you a little bit about the Afterthought mine. The Afterthought mine's story begins in 1862 when the Copper Hill claim was staked. This wasn't the Afterthought, this was the main claim. The area wasn't really active until 1872 when the property was bought by H.M. Peck for $6,000. In 1876, it was discovered that there was more copper ore on the ledge next to the main claim. Peck patented it as the Afterthought and had it adjoined to the main claim. The employees would carry all the ore that they got to their wagon and then cart the wagon to the ships that would eventually ship out the ores. Peck built a reverberating smelter to process the ore on site, but the ore had too much zinc and Peck's smelter wasn't able to properly process it. So Peck sold the property in 1903 to the Great West Gold Company, and in 1905 they erected a 250-ton blast furnace, which did successfully process the ore. Between 1905 and 1927, several different companies operated the mine for short periods, and several different methods of extracting the metals from the ore were used. Infrastructure was developed around the mine to support the massive operation, like a small railroad system with a small steam locomotive which pulled 20 5-ton ore cars, and this was to get the ore from the mine to the smelter, probably the one on Bully Hill. In 1925, the California Zinc Company purchased the property and erected an aerial cable tram to transport the ore to Bully Hill, capable of carrying 140 2-ton buckets placed approximately 300 yards apart. A lot of this tramway spanned the Pitt River. The mine was closed down in 1927 because at this point there was a decline in copper prices and a lot of legal action was being taken against mines and smelters because of the environmental impact of the pollution of these institutes, and it had a severe economic impact on agriculture and things like that. The mines were temporarily revived by the demand for copper in World War I. In 1946, the Colorado Copper and Zinc Company acquired the property and drilled until they found new ore bodies, and they would operate the mine until it closed for good in 1952. From 1896 to 1919, copper was one of the basic resources of Shasta County. It was needed for things like cars, telephones, electric wires, and lots of other industrial products. The Afterthought mine was one of the biggest copper mines in Shasta County. The town of Ingot started because the miners at the Afterthought needed to live nearby, and at its height had a population of 300 people. Copper mining fostered the boom or bust economies for places like Keswick, Coram, Kennett, Bully Hill, Copper City, De La Mar, Winthrop, and Ingot. But more generally, the money from mining, copper and otherwise, made the county viable enough to eventually tackle large-scale building projects like the Shasta Dam. There was another cost, however. The environmental impact of mining and smelting was so severe that we can still see the ramifications of it. The toxic smelting fumes killed life on the hillside for miles, and all smelters were shut down through legal action in the early 1900s. Mines weren't much better. The perfect example of this is the Iron Mountain mining, which polluted the water so badly it was declared a federal Superfund cleanup site. At the Afterthought, you can see the discolored soil around the ruins. Today, the Afterthought mine is officially listed as a California Historical Landmark number 9. There isn't a lot of room to pull off the highway and no plaque to commemorate it, but the next time you're on Highway 299, keep an eye out for this landmark.